beauties, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Yanni, and today we're going to do a Yanni's car chats. I've been waiting to do this Yanni's car chats for a while. I just haven't been in the car and made up. So I didn't want to do one all like regular faced, even though majority of the time I am with a regular face. I don't do makeup like that. But I filmed this video today. This is my actual Valentine's Day makeup look for February 14th. So stay tuned to see that. But you're gonna see this obviously after Valentine's Day. This is just gonna be, I don't even know what it's gonna be. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna upload this. It just kind of depends on how this video goes. It's kind of like an update on what's been happening in 2021 since my last Yanni's car chats, which was, I believe, in the beginning of 2021 or like right before 2021. So if you're interested in seeing my update, then go ahead and grab a snack, grab a bottle of water, because you know we're still trying to get healthy up in the joint, even though all these people are acting like damn fools while driving. And then keep on watching. Sorry that this is bouncing around, if it is bouncing around on your screen, but I live in a shitty ass neighborhood that has shitty ass streets, so let's go with that. I'm actually on my way to go pick up my kids from daycare and my elementary schooler from after school, and it is 5:15 in the evening. I just finished cooking dinner, and a lot has happened in the last 6.5 weeks of 2021 for me personally, family-wise. So we ended 2020 not in the best of terms. My 14-year-old is just going through some things, and I mean, I would say it's typical teenage stuff, but like to the 1,000th power type of thing. It's things that we've all been through when we were younger, but it is insane the way that he reacts. So if you didn't know, or if I haven't told you, my son suffers from a mental illness. He has anger issues. He's borderline bipolar. He suffers from anxiety and depression. With that being said, it is definitely hard work raising a child. Mind you, I'm raising 5. Mind you, raising a child in a pandemic is hard. I'm raising 5 during a pandemic, and it's been incredibly insane in my home. So they all have their strives and their, things that they have to do and they have to figure out, but he struggles the most, I want to say, and he sees a therapist, he sees a psychiatrist, it's just been crazy. So he had a falling out with his grandmother during the Christmas holiday, so that didn't help, coming into the new year. You end the year bad, we started the new year, tough. Then a few days after New Year's, he got into a physical altercation with me, and that was devastating for me. Talking about it, it gets me a little emotional. I don't want to mess up my makeup. Because I never in my wildest dreams thought that one of my children, mind you, my son, would do that to me. Their father does not physically hit women, and nothing. He's not into that. He doesn't like that. He's against that. He doesn't hit them. He's not a disciplinary like that. So I don't know where he's getting this. He bottles up so much stuff because he just does. I don't understand why, because me and his father have always said, we're here if you need to talk. He has aunts, he has uncles, he has cousins that he could turn to. He just doesn't feel comfortable doing it, and I don't understand why. Excuse me. So You're going to hear me doing that a lot because I'm recovering from a crazy bout of strep throat in the last 2 weeks. So, yeah, there's that too. So, yeah, it was crazy. And because of that, he was punished. Well, he was punished because of what happened with his grandmother. And then this whole craziness happened because of that punishment. And then he got punished again because of that. And we were going to set rules across the board for everybody, because he's the oldest out of the 5 that are living at home. We have 6 in total, but he's the oldest out of the 5 that live at home. So he sets the precedence. He sets the tone, the role modelness of the house. And quite honestly, all of the others are following suit. My 12-year-old has gotten such a smart mouth on himself that he's going to get his mouth popped. Like, literally, he's going to get his face popped. My 8-year-old has gotten nasty little attitude, talking back, tantrums. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And then my 4-year-old and my 3-year-old have gotten so out of hand that I even had to go to daycare, because the daycare called me that my son literally bit his teacher. My 3-year-old bit his teacher and then hit her in the face with his sneaker. Like, what is that? Like, I don't understand. What is going on? Is it me? Is it what's going on? Like, we literally had to sit down and figure out what is going on with our children. Mind you, there is a pandemic. They're stuck at home. They don't go anywhere. They don't socialize with anyone outside of themselves, and then when they go to school. And that's pretty much it. So, yes, they're feeling extremely isolated. Yes, I know. But there's not much we can do. We are in the middle of a pandemic. Right? Right. So, we are trying to the best of our ability to make it as good as we can for them. We're trying to cope with this just like everybody else. I continue to tell them, sorry, I had to put a cough drop in my mouth. But I continually tell them that they're not the only ones that are going through this. There are a whole bunch of people, the entire world, that is dealing with these issues. So, I mean, there isn't anything else I said. There's not a manual for how to handle children during a pandemic. This is the first time that anyone is seeing this type of thing happen. So, honestly, there isn't much that we can do or say. That being said, we sat down as a family without the little ones, because the little ones, they don't really understand rules and chores and all that stuff like that. Mind you, this was after the fight that we had. My husband sat down and was like, we're gonna have a family meeting and we're gonna talk. Family discussion. Okay, cool. Go. Sit down. We started talking, started saying stuff. And we asked him a question after the first conversation. And he flipped out on us. Like, flipped out. Because he felt that there was no need for him to answer because it didn't pertain to him. Like, it honestly didn't pertain to him. He was like, oh, this has nothing to do with me. I'm doing good in school. I'm this and this. But he failed to realize that it wasn't just about the school thing. It was about having respect. It was a whole conversation. And he just was like, he flipped out and acted all crazy. Shouted at my husband. They got into a verbal altercation, both of them, to the point where my son threatened to kill himself. This is the second time that this has happened. The first time was a couple years ago when we didn't do it, but the school had to Baker Act him because he was threatening to kill himself. He told a friend of his, and the friend was very, very concerned. She told the school officer, and then they called him into the office, and he actually saved my son's life because I was at work, my husband was at work, and this whole situation came out. So this is the second time. So my husband, made the tough decision to call the police because he was threatening to kill himself. And rather than a situation blow out of craziness, he rather him be mad at him for calling the police. the police came. They took him into a hospital, and they did evaluations and all kinds of stuff. And you know, he's suffering from a lot of stuff. He's come out to us as gay, but he is actually transgender. He wants to do the operation and things like that, or the surgery, but there's just a lot of factoring with money and stuff. And mentally, I feel he needs to be at a better place with himself before we go through with this huge surgery. I'm not against the surgery. I just feel like he needs to be at peace in his mind before making decisions like this, before we all make decisions, because it's a very big decision. It is a huge change, not only for him, but for us as a family. It is a huge change, you know, and I just want us to all be on the same page and all be comfortable and supportive. That being said, he ended up in the hospital for 3 days, was released a week and a half ago. He is still on restrictions, but is pushing the boundaries of those restrictions. And I just feel like it's going to end up being the same thing that it was before. My husband took a leave of absence from work so that he can help me with him. So since the physical altercation with my son, I've been having anxiety, like even reprimanding him. Just because, not that I'm scared of him, I have anxiety for that, and I'm still dealing. I don't think that I've processed it like I should have, but it's been crazy. I'm a mom, and I just have to keep going, and I'm trying to see if I can see a therapist eventually, because I do need to see a therapist for myself, because I have some issues that I need to sort out myself. But, you know, I thought 2021 was going to be a lot better. It has been extremely rocky. That has happened with my 14-year-old. The other ones seem to be okay, like in between. You know, we try to periodically have conversations with them to make sure that they're doing okay. They're doing, you know, relatively okay. My husband took a leave of absence from work because, you know, our lease is coming up in March. And we were already thinking of leaving where we live because we really didn't expect everything to happen the way that it did. And moving to where we moved, it didn't turn out to what we thought it was going to be. So we were looking into moving yet again. But, you know, it was up in the air. We didn't know what we were going to do. But unfortunately, the decision has been made for us, because last week, a realtor called saying that he wanted to come by to see the house, and we were like, we're not the owners. He was like, yeah, well, the owner put the house up on the market for sale. So we didn't even know this. So we're like, okay, what does that mean? And they were like, well, he's selling the house. So with that being said, him selling the house means that we have to move. So the realtor was like, oh, we didn't know that you didn't know, and do you have a lease? I was like, yeah, we have a lease until the 31st of March. So we're set to the 31st of March, but we have no money. I left Kohl's. I worked with Kohl's for almost 4 years, and I left them this year because I wanted to be more hands-on with my children. I see that they're just not thriving like they should, and being in a pandemic is just not helping. So one of us has to be home. My husband, you know, and I sat down, and he said that he would be the one that's going to be working more. He makes more money anyway. He had way more hours than what I did. My hours are restricted because of the kids, because we live in a rotten neighborhood, and we really need to have somebody home and pick them up. They can't just like come and, you know, walk home. It's just not, that is not the best environment. It really, really, truly is not. So I have to go in and pick up my kids, and then we'll be back. So we just got notified from the realty company that we will probably have to move. So we have been showing the realtors have been coming to look at the home, and we are still inhabiting the home, which is very strange, but nonetheless, we talked to the landlord apologized to us, saying, you know, he's got a lot of stuff going on, he hadn't had a chance. He lives in Spain and he is liquidating some assets that he has here, and unfortunately our house that we're living in is one of the assets that he's liquidating. So yeah, it sucks. So we literally have like a month to find a place, find a job for my husband and everything. We were considering moving back to where we came from, but we don't know if that's gonna happen. We were considering moving to a different part of Florida. We don't know yet. We do know that we need to figure it out as soon as possible. So I've been working the past few weeks to find like as much information as I can. He's fixing up his resume. He's trying to put his resume there because he wants to come out. He wants to get out of the industry that he's in, which is hospitality. Just like for me with the pandemic, retail has just gotten so weird that I wanted to get out of it sort of myself. But I've always wanted to have my own business. So I've been focusing myself on what type of business I want to have. How do I want to start my small business? What do I want to focus on? I really want to do makeup. Like, that's my big thing. I really want to do makeup. So I want to have like a makeup boutique or even a makeup suite. So trying to work on that. I knew that I always wanted a business of my own. I just didn't know what it was that I wanted. I'm so in love with makeup. I love the transformation of it. So I think I'm going to stay with the whole makeup thing. I don't know if I want to do my own products or how that's going to work, or should I start with my own products and go from there. I honestly don't know, because my obsession, people who start small businesses in the makeup industry start out with lashes or lip glosses, eyeshadow palettes. There's like 1,000,000,001 eyeshadow palettes out there. Like, honestly, there is. It is so saturated, the eyeshadow business. Eyeshadow palettes, eyeshadows, whatever, glitters. It's just so saturated. So I'm just like, I don't know if I want to do that. So I don't know yet what it is that I want to do. I love lipsticks, liquid lipsticks, bullet lipsticks. Like, I am obsessed with lipsticks and lip colors. So I don't know if I want to do that. Maybe. I'm not sure. A lot of people do lip glosses because it's easier. I don't want to do lip glosses. Yes, baby.
Like our lips are not good. One leg on, two legs are breaking.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Two legs are dead.
Okay.
Because we don't have trouble with lights.
Oh, all right.
Because our driving and go home and go pick up.
Okay.
And then we're home, kids is at home.
Yes. So I've been working on that. We want to buy a house, but obviously we're not going to be able to do that. Our credit is shot from the pandemic. We had our credit up to a really good area, and then with the pandemic, we couldn't afford to keep it. We let some credit cards go. We couldn't afford them, and both my husband and I's credit went down. So again, that's been pushed back. So that sucks. Then 2 weeks ago, my husband started getting like a little bit of a cough, and I told him, you need to go get tested. He didn't get crazy sick. He had like 1 day of illness or 2 days, and then he was okay. Me, on the other hand, I caught it from him, or even the babies, because the babies did come home with like runny noses, and I ended up catching a really bad cold that turned into strep throat. Strep throat. That sucks. I'm just now getting over it, but I was in like the worst thing ever. It was a week and a half of just not being able to talk, drink, eat, all I was doing was coughing and nothing was happening. My throat was so sore. Like right now, the sun is going down and it's getting cooler because it's already 5:40 and my throat is starting to feel itchy and scratchy. And then if I talk for long periods of time, my throat starts to act up. And it's just been so bad. I've been living on Hall's cough drops, tea, water. It's been crazy. Like I can't have any dairy, like cheese or milk. I haven't had coffee in I don't know how long. I had a cup of coffee this morning and it felt so weird because it was like the thickness of the milk, because I drink café con leche. Man, I was like, I miss coffee, but I can't have it right now. I finished the coffee, but then I had to have a tea like right after, and my throat was just done. It still feels horrible, so I'm just now getting over that. You guys know that I suffer from PCOS, and I've literally had, my Aunt Flo has been visiting me for already 34 days. Yeah. I have an expired birth control in my arm because I have no insurance and I have no money and no way to go and get it removed, because the procedure in itself is going to be anywhere between $400 to $500, because I have to make an appointment with my OBGYN. I have to have my annual exam. Then to remove it costs whatever, and then the labs for my annual exam I have to pay for, and then I have to pay for them to reinsert the birth control because I am not having any more babies. And I already asked him if I can get my tubes tied, but that procedure in itself costs anywhere between $8,000 to $12,000. So that's not gonna work. So I'm stuck with a birth control, which is pumping hormones into me, which doesn't help my whole wanting to lose weight type of thing. Now, weight-wise, I was doing really well, and I hadn't lost any weight, but I hadn't gained any weight. And in the last month, I've gained 2 pounds. So that is sucky. But I was talking to my husband, I was talking to my sister-in-law, and she told me to try these apple cider vinegar gummies called Goli. My husband said the same thing. I was taking apple cider vinegar shots in my smoothies, and I just didn't feel like it was doing anything for me. So I don't know. I don't know if it doesn't react well with my PCOS, with the hormone and the birth control, or whatever it may be, but I can tell you that it's going to be a struggle for me. This year I'm going to be 40 years old. That's disgusting, but I'm going to be 40. And I wanted to have a big party for my 40th. I wanted to have my friends, my best friend, my family. Nope, that's not going to work because of COVID. Then I wanted to go on a cruise. That can't happen because of COVID. I wanted to travel and go to Vegas or somewhere, and nope, that's not going to happen because of COVID. So, or go to California or Vegas or something. Nope, can't do that. So then my last resort was, I wanted to do my mommy makeover, which is to get a breast lift and to get a tummy tuck / lipo type of thing, and then maybe with the option of a BBL, but I don't know about that yet. All I know is that I wanted to get a breast lift and I wanted to get a tummy tuck because mama is not having any more babies, and I just want to be a little bit more positive and feel better in the body that I'm supposed to be in. I already eat pretty well, and stress doesn't help. Stress does not help at all. But I've been so stressed out like the last few days or the last few months that it's crazy. So yeah, that has been sucky. So I can't do my plastic surgery because unfortunately my money has to go to moving. So that's out of the question. I do in fact want to go for a consult, so we might be doing that. So that's pretty much it. And that completes this video. That's all the updates that I have to tell you. That's what kind of been going through our life, or my life. It's been kind of crazy. So we are now house hunting. We are starting to pack, downsize. This time we have to truly downsize. and pack, and then now just figure out where we're going to move. Those are the big things. Figure out where we're gonna move, downsize, and pack, and find a job. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the love and the support. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell down below so you can get notified every time I upload videos, which is 3 days a week. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, you know, if life permits, because life is crazy right now. I will do another Yanni's car chats probably in a few weeks. I should know more stuff by then. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see all you beauties in my next video. Bye.